Testing 1, 2. Welcome to track 4 Boutcast. I am Dylan Withett, joined here by Link for this finals action where we have the WA Roller Derby Wards of the state versus the Bolts from the Auckland Roller Derby League in New Zealand. So let's get this off. We'll introduce your teams tonight. First of all, from WA, Western Australia, we have 101 Carnosaurus, 12 Jiminy Hit It, 1535 Tiny, 218 Coca Roller, 333 Juicy M Suffer, 47 Bowie Skates, 49 Hella High Water, 526 Peaches and Scream, 56 Chene Doused, 570 Beers, 46 Holly War, 579 Fangtastic, and on the bench we have Sid Down, Whiskey Sour, Cannon Bill, and Speederman.
And then for Auckland Roller Derby League, the Bolts, we have number 13 Benedicta, 14 Venus Thigh Trap, 1902 Pyroclastic Flow, 23 Steve, 25 Riley Coyote, 27 Smith, 36 Heartbreaker Baker, 49 Sass, 76 Resident Evil, and 86 Ellen McKenzie. On the benches, we'll have Fatal Traction, Schrodinger, and Bruiser.
In less than a minute till we get underway. Looks like the skaters were ready to go, taking the track. So for those playing at home, the Bolts from Auckland Roller Derby are the ladies in the blue, while Wards of the State in the white uniforms. This is getting into the finals action for Division 2 here at the Great Southern Slam. No doubt both of these teams earning their spot and maybe wanting to climb a little bit further up the ladder.
At the gem line, we can see for the Awards of State, we've got 1-2 Jiminy Hit It. And for Auckland, it looks as though we have Heartbreaker Baker.
It's both off to a strong start, but looks like, I believe it is Jiminy Hit It trying to go in the inside line, but not quite successful. Yes, Heartbreaker Baker a bit more successful in getting that lead jammer status.
Jiminy Hit It, meanwhile, has made her way through for her initial pass, putting the gem penny back on, making herself eligible to score points. But the jam is called off by Heartbreaker Baker before she can do so, and that is 4-0 to the ARDL.
Yes, Jiminy Hit It just getting through that last line of defence there from Ward, if you will, and getting the points and calling it off. There's probably going to be a lot of that towards the finals because they're not going to want to let the other team get anything up on them or anything up on the board for that matter. But it looks like we're actually starting this off as a power jam situation because I did get confused there momentarily just because the view didn't see it. It looked like the Ward's jammer was in the box, but there is actually one on the field.
Meanwhile, it is 86 McKenzie for ADRD who has made it out into the lead jammer position.
And very much not in the box is Peaches and Scream that getting out of the box soon after, not far behind. So again, getting the points and calling off the jam. Only getting the 1 point actually, so there was a bit of debate on whether they did pass the hips there, but managed to get that 1 point for the Bolts. Both jammers now stuck behind those walls of opposing blockers. And just when you think the Wards of the State were about to get through, there was a nice little hit there and a quick reform.
Yeah, Heartbreaker Baker making a critical block. Have been sent to the penalty box for it. And this leaves West Australia with the lead jammer position.
It looks like it is Fantastic, the 979 in the white for the lead jammer position. She's very, very easily getting that inside line, picking up the 4 points. But you did notice Smith, I believe. Smith, the jammer, coming back on the track, and she thought, nope, better call it off. So 4 points there. The pack lining up at the pivot line here, giving the jammers a bit of a running start or a thinking start, depending on how they like to play the game.
And both packs making it difficult for the jammers to get through.
But there we go. We have Ward taking the inside line, and it looks like it is Holly War, pardon me. And she is coming around for her scoring pass with a vengeance and a serious look on her face. There was a nice little assist there from Coca-Rola, but there was that one stray blocker in blue managing to stop her. She has, though, got those 4 points and called off the jam.
And it looks like West Australia has taken the lead for the first time in the bout. 8 points to 5.
And just a reminder for all those of you listening on the Boutcast here at Track 4, we do have a live chat going on. So if you want to show some love for your team or for a particular skater, feel free to send us a message. We can pass it on. Or just any general opinions of what you think about the game, and hopefully you're enjoying the action here at the Great Southern Slam.
And if you catch that, they're just going, it's the NSOs just making sure that the clocks are all matching up.
Yeah, so we do have the official timers in the middle, but doesn't seem that quite matches the clock up on the scoreboard showing here live at the venue. So just a quick check.
Officials seem happy, and we'll be getting back on with this game. Jam on.
Jam on indeed. As there we go, we have, I believe it is Heartbreaker Baker in the blue, just finding her way through that pack and speeding for her scoring pass.
Meanwhile, Jiminy Hiddett has made it clear of the pack as well, and she will be chasing down, hoping to put some pressure on and possibly steal some points.
Very quick pack here. Obviously, Wards of the State trying to use a bit of speed in hopes of not letting the jammer catch them.
Heartbreaker Baker with a bit of an unintentional check on one of the referees there, but smiles all around. No harm done.
Looks like she was actually forced to call off that jam before any points were scored either way. So a bit of an effective speed up of the pack there from the Wards of the State. So yes, Wards of the State, the ladies in white, and Auckland Roller Derby Bolts are the ladies in blue here on Track 4 Boutcast today.
And Mackenzie with a nice little duck on the outside. She squeezes through into lead jammer.
Meantime, a sneaky little star pass. Sees number 56, Shanae Doust, becoming the lead. Oh, there may be a bit of a... So no, the star pass was okay. She was just called back briefly, but is still considered the jammer there.
Meanwhile, an initial hit by Coca-Rola has forced Mackenzie back to the back of the pack and will call it off there. And after some deliberation, 3 points for ARDL.
Yes, a lot of acronyms being dealt with here at the Great Southern Slam. Jam on indeed. There's some great Division 2 action, and particularly getting into the finals, they'll be fighting hard for those positions.
Heartbreaker Baker with some very fancy footwork along the outside line. She's taken lead jammer.
But as you can see, Wards of the State not far behind. It looks like it is fantastic in the white there.
As the pack speeds up, Heartbreaker Baker tries to make an apex jump, calls it off.
Yes.
Hits her own skater, and no points are scored.
A very risky move, the apex dump, but definitely just amazing when pulled off effectively.
Looks as though a low block penalty was picked up by one of the West Australian skaters there upon the landing of the apex jump.
So it's just actually been pointed out to us from Linton that this is actually Auckland's second game of the afternoon. So instead of getting a beer and a bath, these ladies are right back on the track playing again. There's probably all a good chance that Water themselves have played a game this morning as well, as we do get into the finals.
Yes, I think Ward actually had one of the first games of the day at 9 a.m. Meanwhile, it's Mackenzie who has again taken the lead jammer position, and after a nice little duck into the inside, a little spin, she comes out through clean with 4 points.
Yes, but you can see Ward there on their scoring pass. Nice little wall of blue there, determined to stop her. The wall of white just as effective towards the front. And Coca-Cola forcing Mackenzie to the outside. Oh, wow. Bringing her back a bit of a fairway there.
Yeah, pulling out the maximum distance before allowing Mackenzie back into play.
Yeah, so we've got Holly War stuck behind that wall of blue that just somehow keeps reforming right in front of her. Just when she thinks she's past it. There we go. Yep, not forced to the outside and right back behind them again.
Some great defensive work by both teams at the moment. But we have one of the Western Australia blockers sent out.
I believe yes, it is Coca-Cola. It looked like an effective hit there. Was about to force her back, but because she went to the box, was free for Mackenzie just to re-enter the pack as is.
And that was a grand slam pass, so she picks up 5 points that time.
So it looks like it's, yes, Ellen Mackenzie lead jammer. Didn't call it off there for a while. Seemed to be preferring to go for the points. But then on seeing a Holly War approach, figured better call it off.
13 points for Ellen Mackenzie. That jam. Not a bad effort.
Very close game here. We've got 21-12 currently to the ladies in blue from across the sea there on New Zealand.
That's a palindrome on the score. I like palindromes.
Yeah, but and look, barely any effort. She made it look easy. But you can tell there's hours of training behind that. Heartbreaker Baker becoming the lead jammer, but just looked like she stepped through that inside line.
No deal on the outside line this time, but she squeezes away through on the inside. Vigorous call off, and she does collect 4 points.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing with the jammer is, yes, you've got to pass the opposing blockers, but you've also got to be aware of where your opposing jammer is, because you can't be letting them get their own 4 points. So that's some nice clean jams here. Again, all blockers on the track for both teams. And it looks like it is fantastic from Western Australia, managing to take the lead jammer. And Heartbreaker Baker once again jamming for the ladies in blue, but coming up against that wall of white, finally making her way through.
Yeah, really making great use of those toe stops to dance from left to right to find an opening. But the jam is called 1 point to the Wards of Skate.
Yeah, so they're definitely not letting their opposition team get any ground. Because rather than even try and go for the 4, she saw right behind her and said, nope, I'll take the 1 and I will call it off.
We've got a bit of a shout out to Tilt McKilt.
Looks like we have a timeout here. Team timeout being called by the Wards of the Skate. Hence the little flashing signal under their name there. Got some great action here at the Great Southern Slam. You're currently tuned into track 4 with Link and Dylan. We got the game of the Auckland Roller Derby League Bolts from Auckland, New Zealand, and the WA Roller Derby Wards of the State from Perth, Western Australia.
It looks like we've got some fans out there for Ward. Marissa Cacchetti. Keep it up, Ward.
So we got to hear on our little commentator sheets there WOOFTA rankings, if you will. Ward, as of June 2018, ranked 207. The Bolts are slightly higher as of June 2018, ranking at the 189. But given the amount of leagues, probably not much in it, really.
I think the score's a good indication of that. Not much in that either. Meanwhile, it's Mackenzie who has buffeted her way through the pack into lead jammer.
And we've got Peaches and Screams trying to sneak around that outside line. The block is having none of it. And it looks like we had a little bit of an apex jump there.
Yeah, nearly nailed the landing, but did enough to stay in bounds, keep it legal, and she did pick up 5 full points.
So, yes, she did call it a bit of a close call there. She waited right till the first blocker, but looks like Ward picking up 3 points for themselves. Thank you very much, Linton. I'm glad you appreciate the efforts of the commentators. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of us doing both boutcasts and live commentary here at the venue. And who do we have here? We've got Holly War. Here we go. Lead jammer for the Wards of the State.
Got through clean as a whistle. Mackenzie, on the other hand, did have a bit of a struggle, so she has made it her way out now. But the jam is called before any points for ARDL.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't let Mackenzie get anywhere near the pack there. Having none of it, just saying, don't even try it. Nice 4 points for the Wards of the State.
And they are creeping back up on the lead of ARDL, 20-30.
But I got to tell you, for being called the Wards of the State, they seems to be playing a nice clean game here. Don't think we've seen too many in the penalty box at this first half. And we've got Jiminy Hit It, lead jammer for WA. Oh, we do have one to the penalty box, the pivot from the Bolts. It means no star passes, so the jammer will have to be making an effort to get through that wall of white herself.
Yeah, Heartbreaker Baker was sent to the penalty box. I think there was an attempted star pass, but the penalty axed that plan.
Yeah, see, I believe it's Smith back behind that wall of white with the jammer panty in her hand. There's the blocker's trying to open up a gap on the outside, but that wall just reforming right in front. Meantime, Jiminy Hit It getting 5 points because she did lap her opposing jammer as well.
Meanwhile, Heartbreaker Baker has made it back onto the track, and she has taken the jammer panty and completed the star pass, and she is through her initial pass.
You see Jiminy Hit It making her way through the pack and taking a look back, seeing the jammer and saying, nope, no more. Getting those 4 points, calling it off. And we have a lead change after a 14-point jam to the Wards of the Skate. We have 34-30. This definitely looks like it's going to be a close game if the last couple of jams are anything to go by. We're about halfway through the first half here, so I guess you could call it quarter time.
And with that, we've got a ARDL timeout. Looks like a lot of strategy going over on their bench.
You could actually see the benchies doing a little bit of an action there.
It's quite the pantomime, actually.
But actually, it is fun here watching the benchies live at the venue. Some of them get very vocal. You can probably even hear them on the boutcast. And then they get very lively as well, very passionate when coaching these teams.
Yeah, the bench teams, well, the benchies are very much part of the team. They're not just there to say you're on, you're off.
Not just pretty faces.
And clean as a whistle, fantastic, out into lead jammer.
Yes, she is baring her fangs right now and looking for a scoring pass. Ooh. Nice little assist there from, I believe, Shanae Doust. But a bit of a collision course. Now we do have a power jam situation going on, which is likely to help the Auckland Bolts take back that lead. Ooh, an apex jump. So she kept her skates inside, so it is deemed a legal pass.
Yeah, impressive leap. Not so great in the landing, but legal nonetheless.
Again, it's all, and they, looks like it was Juicy M Suffer trying to knock her out, but she kept that toe stop up and the skate inside that outside line, and now she's back again for a scoring pass. Just shows you how quick these jammers are. By the time we've called one thing, they're right back around again for a scoring pass. Fantastic back on the track for the wards of the skate. And because she went to the box, she lost her lead jammer status. So this jam will be going for the full 2-minute period.
Yeah, it's a straight gun out now between the jammers.
Yep, going for the points are fantastic. Picking up 5 for herself as she did lap her opposing jammer there, who is now stuck behind those 3 white blockers. And
Wards of Skate doing a great job of keeping Heartbreaker Baker at the back of the pack.
Oh, no, nice little hit by the Blues, stopping Fantastics from momentum, but not for long as she's got another 5-point pass as the jam comes to a close. Wards of the Skate. Looks like they're getting get a 12-point lead. Ooh. They're just having a little bit of a discussion next to us with regards to the points to confirm that particular score is seen on your board there. Ah, yes. I do love the team from Gladstone. I believe some of you were actually watching the earlier bout with Team Potluck. But we thank you very much for continuing to watch the boutcast here at TGSS.
Meanwhile, Pigeon Scream, who had picked up lead jammer, has been sent to the penalty box.
And we do have another power jam situation for the Bolts. But you can be sure the Wards of the Skate blockers are not going to be letting them capitalize on that.
Yeah, they're doing their absolute best to shut down Mackenzie.
And if you look at that very still pack there, they are not even letting up an inch on those walls. Did manage to sneak away through for the 5-point scoring pass. Oh!
And a nice little duck around the outside as well.
But yes, we do have Peaches and Scream back on the track.
And now it's the turn of ARDL to block her out, keep her at the back of the pack, squeeze her out of the track.
And both trying to power. So we've got Peaches and Scream trying to power through the wall of blue to no avail. Now her blocker's trying to split it up a little. She has made her way out for 4 points.
Meanwhile, Mackenzie bullies her way through on her next scoring pass, picking up 4 points.
Now these jammers, they can definitely make it look easy. I mean, look at like that pass there by Peaches and Scream, making it look like a bit of a walk in the park. But really, there's hours of training that go into skills like this, and frankly, just going around the track that many times, particularly when people are trying to hit you and stop you, it's exhausting. So you have to hand it to these ladies.
Yeah, and it's not, again, it's the second time for each of these teams today, and they've also played yesterday.
And they might even be playing any more if, depending on the final schedule.
Well,
so
that's it. They're playing for the right to play again.
But you got to wonder which they'd actually prefer another game, or just to be able to sit down with a beer and a bath and enjoy the rest of the derby action.
Well, that's the mental battle going on upstairs.
Yeah. See, this is why we're on this side of the commentary table. See, we can just sit and enjoy the derby action, have a bit of a chat and a laugh about it.
Front row seat, and nice job.
No, it is good to see just across the Boutcast all the weekend. A lot of folks watching at home. Definitely showing some love from derby leagues all over Australia and New Zealand, watching the Great Southern Slam.
Yeah, well, pretty much it is the largest international derby tournament in the world.
Mm-hmm.
5 tracks playing all at once. Madness.
Yep, we've got bout stream on 4 of them. The fifth track mainly being used for playful challenge bouts, which are always a bit of fun. Good way.
I was just having a look over. It looks like we've got Kiwis versus Emus at the moment.
We do. Appropriate for Australia-New Zealand tournament, definitely. Although the Kiwis actually do appear to be winning on that track over there, so
Sure.
What's that about? You know, challenge bouts. It's a fun little way for skaters to play against ladies that they may not ever deal with, and learn some new skills and learn how to work together with new teams. Particularly if you're in a league full of really great skaters, and you may just miss out on a spot.
Back to this game, however, though, we have. That is Holly War. She found her way through the inside and into lead jammer. Meanwhile, Mackenzie is having an absolute battle, but she has made her way through.
Yep. There we go. Oh, trying for the inside line, not quite. Wow, Mackenzie. Geez, wasting no time, speeding around the track. She did manage to get 2 points before being, that was a Holly War, did manage to get those 2 points before being forced back. But calling it off while seeing Mackenzie.
I'm pretty sure she was setting off speed cameras down here on Goodwood Road.
Yeah, we should put a little one of them radar guns on top of the Boutcast camera. Track how fast these jammers can go. Yeah, but here we go. Not quite so fast at the moment. They're both stuck behind walls of opposing blockers here. Very still pack.
After the pace of the last jam, we have the defensive work coming into play.
But even as you see these efforts to try and break up the pack. Right at the front, I believe it was 5-7. It was Beers, and the pack just reformed right there. So when that gap's created, they really have to take it.
Yeah, Jiminy hit it. Unsuccessful in getting to lead jam position. He's been cycled back a few times now.
And so we go down at the front there. We have Smith for the Blue Bolts. She has made it through the pack. So we actually finally have a lead jammer. It looks like.
Yeah, it took about half the jam, but we got there.
Yeah. So now coming around for a scoring pass is Smith from the Bolts. Not far behind though. Wards of the skate number. Jiminy hit it. Number 12.
But. Smith is happy to call it off there. She has picked up 5 points.
And it looks like is there only 1 point in it at this point in time? We've got Wards of the skate 65 on the Bolts 64. 4.
Yeah, it's a close one.
And am I correct in... Oh, wait, sorry. There we go. The period clock, less than 10 minutes to go. So time definitely flying faster than these jammers here at the Great Southern Slam Track 4.
And now we have Mackenzie doing the jamming duties for ARDL, who has come up just behind.
And I love seeing, you see Mackenzie, she's very quick. She likes to dart from one lane of the track to the other, trying to find that gap.
Yeah, forcing Fantastic to call that one off early, despite getting lead jammer.
Yeah, no points in that one. But there's barely any points in the score itself. 1 point. That's absolutely nothing in a game of derby. That's...
And Mackenzie must be feeling it. She's staying on the track in the jammer position.
Yeah, that's definitely the adrenaline working. Put me back in, coach. I'm ready to go. Oh,
and Peaches and Scream has picked up a cut penalty, so Mackenzie, the only jammer on the track, in a power jam position and has lead.
And if she has that adrenaline rush that we're all thinking, she's going to determine to make the most of it. And you see at the back, they've actually kept that white blocker out of play, Beers, to weaken that wall at the front, making it easier for Mackenzie to pass. But
she stays upright, spins, and takes full 5 points.
Although admittedly, even one blocker down, white wall's no less effective. They did keep her at bay for a little while there. And it looks like we got Peaches and Scream back on the track. She's actually got the panty in her hand. She could be preparing for a sneaky little star pass here.
Meanwhile, Mackenzie has battled her way through for another full 5-point pass.
She is keeping an eye on her opposing jammer, though. Trusting her blockers. Yeah, so she's probably going to go for those extra few points, extra 4 points, and then call it off.
Great skating there by Mackenzie. Really taking full advantage of the power jam situation.
Yeah, extending that lead there. 78 points now to the Bolts. Looks like it was a 14-point jam. Definitely not easy for that on those blocking efforts for the Wards of the Skate. Probably feeling a bit of frustration as Wards of the Skate 2 blockers down, but again, no less effective as Juicy M Suffer looks to be forcing her to the back of the pack. Ooh, nice little skip there, and Heartbreaker Baker.
Yeah, she's come out clean of the other side of the pack, but has not
She's
picked
not
up lead jammer.
jammer.
No, I think there was a no pass, no penalty situation at the back of the pack.
However, she has picked up 5 points for herself. And Holly War getting lead jammer and calling it off right away. Unfortunately, getting no points for herself. Not able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, that stage was damage control as Heartbreaker Baker was already scoring points.
So still got less than 20 points in this game, but as we've seen, both of these teams can definitely go at it. It looks like we have timeout.
Looks like we might have an official review.
Official review, yes, for the Wards of the Skate. So for anyone who's just joined us, Wards of the Skate, the ladies in white, and the Auckland Bolts, the ladies in blue here today. Track 4 at the Great Southern Slam. We're at the tail end of period 1, and we've seen some worthwhile derby action here for Division 2. So again, if you've just joined us, it'll be worth sticking around for the second half.
Yeah, definitely a very tight and close game.
And then you can be sure the benchies will be making up their game plans, having a bit of a revise and a bit of a think. So it's always interesting to see the second half and what they've learned about their opponents and what they've learned about themselves and the new techniques they can use coming back into the game. But again, first half not quite over yet. Still got a little bit to go. I actually believe it looks like they may have just been using that official review as a timeout.
Yeah, with the period clock winding down.
So in effect, so just to explain for anyone who is unaware, you do get 3 timeouts per game, but you actually get 1 official review per half. So as this period winds down, they probably thought, well, rather than use one of our 3 timeouts, we'll use the official review for this round as a timeout. And then they effectively get another one in the second period coming up soon.
Meanwhile, we have Jiminy Hiddit, who has hit the lead jammer position, with Mackenzie making her approach from behind, but no points scored either team. I think to say it's whatever game tomorrow, I think if it can be covered.
So you're happy to go tomorrow, that will stop you after your ones today? Yeah. Can I get you anything that you like?
Thank you.
Okay. And I love that you both got ears. This is fantastic.
All right, so we are back rolling at the tail end of this first half here on track 4.
Fantastic doing the jamming for West Australia. Had a bit of a slip on the inside and was cycled all the way back to the back of the pack.
And Heartbreaker Baker dealing with her own blocker troubles at the front of the pack here. May soon have to be let go because we're risking a no pack call here, ladies and... Yep, they did call a no pack, so the 2 blockers in white having to come back, allowing Heartbreaker Baker to become the lead jammer.
And it was Pyroclastic Flow who unfortunately caught the out-of-play penalty. She will be sitting in the penalty box.
And Fantastic approaching the pack, but you know that Heartbreaker Baker's right on that and saying no points for you, 4 points for me.
Yeah, keeps her balance on one skate, calls it off, and collects 4 points. The ARDL bolts now at 87 to the wards of skates 65.
The pack again starting off at that... oh, wait, they were at the pivot line. Now they've moved back, and now they're right in their jammer's face. Oh!
Yeah, it seems to have worked for WA. They have forced Mackenzie all the way out of the track, cycled her to the back of the pack.
And it appears... wards of the skate 8. It looks like it's Peaches and Scream dealing with a few issues of her own with the blue blockers.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Mackenzie has found a new approach and squeezed through into the lead jammer.
But Peaches and Scream not far behind, and you can be sure that... but instead of calling off the jam, she's just... she's trusting her blockers and letting it go. Bit of a risky move in such a close game, but does seem to be paying off for her. She gets a 5-point scoring pass.
Yeah, she's confident in her skating, and she's definitely picking up those points at the moment.
Yeah, but Peaches on Scream with 4 of her own. Yeah, so I think Mackenzie's seen that and decided, I'll get the 2 and I'll call her off.
Just over 1 minute left on the period clock.
So we may just have that one more jam in it, but again, depending on how these jammers skate, you never know. Because I actually said that in my last commentary. I thought, oh, this will be the last jam, and the jam went so quickly they actually managed to squeeze in another one within a minute.
And it's Heartbreaker Baker.
Oh, finding a way on that outside line. And
swept through, cut inside, and got lead jammer.
Although Tiny was there for that last line of defence, but a bit too far in front there, had to be called back.
Heartbreaker Baker just backs into the pack, starts hitting those hips and scores what she can.
Yeah, so they're lining up for one more jam, but may not quite be enough time. See, again, depending on how quick they go. No, they have called it an intermission here, so as eager as they were, not getting one last jam in before this second half, but 30 points in it, currently 99 to the Auckland Roller Derby Bolts and 69 to the WA Roller Derby Wards of the Skate.
I'll make a bold halftime prediction. I think the ARDL Bolts will make 100.
And I've been told that ARDL are a teamy team.
Expert insight commentary there. Thank you, Adam Baines.
No, they definitely are displaying some good teamwork, and hopefully it continues after this intermission. I'm Dylan with it, here with Link. We'll see you after the break. And we're about 2 minutes away from the second half of Auckland Roller Derby League Bolts versus the WA Roller Derby Wards of the Skate. And some great action here in the first half, but let's go over these team lists again. First off, the ladies in white from Western Australia Roller Derby. We have 101 Carnosaurus, 12 Jiminy Hit It, 1535 Tiny, 218 Coca Roller, 333 Juicy M Suffer, 47 Bowie Sin Skates, 49 Hella High Water, 526 Peaches and Scream, 56 Shanae Doused, 570 Beers, 86 Holly War, 979 Fantastic, and on the bench we have Sit Down, Whiskey Sour, Cannon Bill, and Speeder Man.
And then over on the blue side, we have the ARDL Bolts. Number 13, Benedicta. 14, Venus Thigh Trap. 1902, Pyroclastic Flow. 23, Steve. 25, Riley Coyote. 27, Smith. 36, Heartbreaker Baker. 49, Sass. 76, Resident Evil. 86, Alan McKenzie. And on the bench, we have Fatal Traction, Schrodinger, and Bruiser.
And again, we are your humble commentators. I am Dylan with it.
And I am Link, and kia ora to our New Zealand watchers watching ARDL, I'm sure.
All right, so the skaters are back on track. About 20 seconds left to go until we start the fun once again. Looks like our Bolts currently ahead on 99 points to the Wards of the Skates 69, but again, we've seen that the Wards of the Skates can hold their own, so 30 points is nothing in a game of derby, and while the Auckland Bolts more than capable of holding that lead, Ward are more than capable of closing that gap.
Yeah, they have been in the lead for some period of the first half. We'll see if they can close up that gap and take it again.
But it all seems to come down on which team gets the lead jammer. Looks to be here Heartbreaker Baker.
Yes, but Jiminy Hit It also making it through, and it's a bit of a race to see who can get to that pack.
So more than likely Heartbreaker will go for as many points as she can before calling it off, because Jiminy is just too close behind. I think she's managed to get that one, but she looked back, called it off right away.
And the prediction has come true. Auckland Bolts have hit 100.
Well done for the ladies in blue, hitting the century. But I can imagine that the Wards of the State from Western Australia are not far behind. Ooh, bit of action there.
Yeah, try to open up that inside line.
Looks like that was a Shanae Doused, actually. Bit of a collision there. An attempt to hold back Mackenzie.
But she gets herself up off the deck and into lead jammer.
And a white one blocker down, which definitely doesn't help with a speedy jammer like Mackenzie. Finding a way on the outside line like a walk in the park, or a skate in the park, rather.
Meanwhile, the ARDL blockers really making it a tough time.
Again, a bit of a collision there. A couple of bodies hit the floor, including jammer Peaches and Scream, who is still yet to make her initial pass.
She manages to tippy-toe her way inside the little track and is through on her initial pass.
However, that the effort made to get that initial pass definitely exhausting her. But it's still, in a surprising way, Mackenzie not calling off the jam. She appears to trust the efforts of her blockers and wants to get the points.
Yeah, she's picked up another 4 there.
But yeah, Peaches and Scream, it looks like she's picked up a couple of her own there. 4 points. As Mackenzie's knocked to the outside by, looks like Shanae Doused.
And Mackenzie sizes up the situation, decides to call it off there before any more points can be scored on the white side.
Yeah, they probably figure they have that slight big enough of a lead that they can risk that extra round trying to get those points.
Yeah, making most of the point advantage while they have it, trying to eat up as much of that clock as they can.
And you could definitely trust the efforts of those blue blockers are very effective in holding back Peaches and Scream for a long time there, and exhausting her efforts when she finally did break free. But it does see fantastic on that inside line. So Ward with a chance to get back in this with being the lead jammer. So if you just joined us on track 4, Ward, Western Australia being the ladies in white, Auckland Bolts being the ladies in blue here.
Heartbreak for Heartbreaker Baker, who did unfortunately step out of the track during that little manoeuvre on the outside, and she did pick up a cut penalty.
Which has allowed for a power jam, which is where you'd want to be when you're a little bit behind here. So Ward with a chance to capitalise, but...
Clockwise block there by Venus Thigh Trap. I mean, it's a very thin pack now for ARDL.
But yes, while the penalty is called, the effect still felt by Fantastic there. Definitely stopping the momentum, and geez, you can see Heartbreaker Baker coming back with a vengeance and just speeding through that pack.
Yeah, cutting the angles through the pack, finding a way through.
Yeah, making her initial pass, and then Fantastic just saying, "Nope, you're not getting any points on me." Maybe a bit of a tiresome effort there. She took a huge hit and kept on a licking, but took a licking, kept on a ticking. But sometimes, when up against a speedy jammer like Heartbreaker Baker, might just be best to say, "Nope." Put a fresh jammer on the track. Oh, and taking the inside line once again, we have, looks like a Holy War becoming the lead jammer for Ward. Oh, and they are making every effort to keep Mackenzie out of play. So, yeah, Ward definitely having a word with the bench. He's learning a few things, marking a few jammers here. Oh, and Holly trying to take that outside line, knocked out, but right back on track and scoring herself, would it be a 5-point pass, as she has also lapped the opposing jammer. Mackenzie still yet to make her initial pass.
Yeah, she's taking hits left, right, and centre, but she's staying upright and trying to find her spot.
There's these Ward blockers just getting that the second half wind, and they're saying nope. Nice bracing from a Juicy M Suffer there.
Yeah, that 3-wall has really stopped the progress of Mackenzie.
Got Tiny, and we also have, I believe, a Coca Roller. There we go.
Meanwhile, Sass, Benedicta doing their own 3-wall damage there.
And Tiny bringing Mackenzie way back. And she's right back behind that very effective wall. Oh, and even attempts to break it apart. See it reform right in front of that pack of blue. But we do have a power jam situation going on, so Mackenzie having a bit of a chance because this jam will now go for the full 2 minutes. But you can see from losing a bit of the speed that attempts to get out of that pack have knocked the wind out of her a little bit.
Yep. Puts the jammer panty on, takes a deep breath, does what she can before time runs out, and does pick up 2 points.
I'm loving it that he indicates that with the Longhorn salute there.
Rock on.
And we've got Marissa saying, "Let's go Ward." So we've got a few people watching from Western Australia, and a few people also watching from across the sea in Auckland there. So we have a timeout, and who called it? Timeout blue, as the official is mentioning. So maybe the Bolts just giving a bit of time to regroup, particularly after that last jam. Ward definitely closing the gap there. So Ward nearly at the century themselves. Bolts on a 116. And we've still got plenty of time left in the second half of this track 4 action.
Yeah, Walter's Gate have definitely chipped away at the lead the Bolts had established at half-time. But while they are still in the lead, the clock ticking down does favour the Bolts.
But if you've seen any of the fantastic Derby action, you know that how many points in it? It's not even 20 points in it. Really nothing in the scheme of roller derby. As we can see, a couple of jams going your way, and you can close that gap right up. Actually had a very impressive game earlier today. It was Van Diemen's and East Vic, and they actually closed a 70-point differential with a couple of right jams. So yes, it can be done.
Meanwhile, Heartbreaker Baker has made her way through the front of the pack. Lead jammer for ARDL.
She does actually have a power jam situation here, so the clock ran out before the white jammer could rejoin, so she got a bit of a power start. Definitely something you want when Ward's closing in on you, because she's called it off on seeing Peaches and Scream, yes, approaching the pack.
So with that easy lead jammer status, she has collected 4 points and called it there.
And Baker looking fresh. Yes, she certainly is. Yeah, I think the halftime break might have done her a bit of good. And they're back and ready to roll. And again, taking into account that both these teams actually did play a bout of derby earlier this morning, so they're on their second game of the evening. And but they're still fresh. Sure, they licked their wounds from the last game and went right on. Fabulous effort here.
Yeah, ARDL doing enough in their last bout to get through to this quarterfinal position on the points differential. And Mackenzie, who had pulled out into a lead jammer position, calls it there, picks up 4 points.
Seems to have been on an instruction of the bench. He had a bit of a quick word with her there. But, yeah, they'll definitely be looking at the points and to be rotating their jammers, keeping them fresh, but also giving them a little bit of a rest there. Oh, now right up at the jammer line, those walls, but no difference to Heartbreaker Baker.
Yeah, she shuffles all the way to the right, finds her opening, and skips on through to lead jammer.
Some impressive speed. She's already coming around for a scoring pass and going around the outside line like it was nothing.
Taking the long route, but it's the path of least resistance, so she is making quick time around.
And we have Peaches and Scream making her way out and about to go through for that scoring pass, but you just know Heartbreaker Baker's just not going to let that happen. So it looks like the ladies in blue from Auckland having a slight blocker advantage here. But as we've seen from Ward, it does make their walls no less effective, particularly when you've got that brace in Juicy M.
Yeah, it's been particularly effective against the ARDL blockers at times. Unfortunately, with one player going off there, it did give a chance for Mackenzie to slip through on the inside.
But
she's
yeah,
in lead jammer, just keeping an eye over her shoulder.
but yeah, effective backwards skating there from the number 333, Juicy M Suffer, who's she keeps her eye on that pack and that jammer. And yeah, she makes it look easy, but that backwards skating and just seeming to know exactly where she is, definitely something that takes hours of training.
And in that last jam, you saw the ARDL blockers speeding up at the command of Mackenzie, just to draw out as much possible time as they could before calling that one off.
Looks like it was a 2-point jam, as indicated by the Longhorns from the jammer ref there. Oh, and there we go. I'm guessing that's Heartbreaker Baker. You can see that blonde hair flying. I think that's about all you can see. You can't catch the number. You just catch that blue and that blonde hair.
The leg springing and the big smile on the face as well.
Yes, clearly loves her jamming job there. That number 36. Calling it off and rotating a new one. I think we've got, do we have Mackenzie at the back of the jammer line there against, can't quite catch the number here, but we've got that pivot and the jammer from Ward having a bit of a chat.
I think it might be Holly War for Ward.
Yes. And then we have Shanae doused in the pivot. They were having a bit of a chat there, no doubt forming a strategy. And you see Shanae trying to break up that wall of blue, but they are reforming quite quickly, so it's rendered a little bit ineffective. Oh, and here comes that effective brace in 3-3-3, Juicy M Suffer.
And while the multiplier block is called on Coca-Cola, it gives a chance to Mackenzie to slip through and into lead jammer position.
Yes, oh, but there was a sneaky star pass there, so it looks like Shanae now the jammer, but yeah, you can see that they've learned their lesson. They keep an eye on it and they call it right off.
Yeah, Mackenzie aware of the situation, calls it off before any danger of points.
So yeah, it's funny because you notice the jammers, the moment they get through the pack, they do this transition, they skate backwards, they see where the other jammer is, and then they go, okay, yep, off. Yeah, it was a nice little star pass there from Ward. Yeah, I don't think Heartbreaker Baker, yeah.
Took a big hit from hella high water all the way out to the outside of the track, but just jumped straight back on and ducked around the other side into lead jammer.
Yeah. Now there's one jammer that I don't think you could take the star off her, let alone get her to voluntarily do a star pass. Look at her going around. She's got that smile and that speed. Oh, I believe it was Bowie Sin Skates. Tried to knock her out, and she's like, no. So I believe it's Peaches and Scream still yet to make her initial pass. Ooh, a bit of an assist there by Bowie Sin Skates. But look again, there was that last line of defense for the blue. Very resilient blockers from Auckland.
Coca-Cola doing her best to keep Baker at bay, but after one little last hit from Beers, she spins out and calls it off there.
Yeah, Ward blockers firing up once again. Still a couple of points in this. So it looks like the Bolts are slowly extending that lead. Not what the Wards of the skate would be wanting right now. They would be looking to get the lead jammer and close that gap. But those walls of blue not letting that happen so easily. Oh, fantastic. Did make the lead jammer, but that unfortunate trip forced her back, but she did make her way through once again and is right out there preparing to score. Giving the pack a quick look, seeing how she can make her way around that wall of blue. Tried the inside line, not quite, and
we've got Juicy himself and Tiny doing a great job of keeping Mackenzie out of the track and cycling her all the way to the back. Try again, they say.
Looks like there was some assist there from Benedicta, number 13 in the blue. Broke it up a little bit, allowing Mackenzie to get through. Oh, fantastic! Spotted her and said, "Nope, I'm calling that off." I don't know. Did she manage to pick up any points? I actually think Fantastic did have to call that off before.
Yeah.
Well, she did get the 5 points from her last one, but don't think she managed on that second attempt at a pass there.
And Adam Baines giving a bit of a shout out to the benchies on ARDL's team. Doing some great work. They are indeed.
Fatal Traction, Schrodinger, and Bruiser, according to our commie list. And again, Heartbreaker Baker, like it. She goes up on her toe stops and almost runs past the blockers, taking the inside line. Looks like she's telling her pack to speed up a little bit, actually. She's got past the opposing block. She got herself that 3 points and called it off, managing to keep the wards of the skates scoreless in that jam.
With a bit of a hug and a bit of a chin wag with the Gemma ref, just confirming that was indeed 4 points.
Yes, yeah, the ward pack they probably would be getting a bit feisty, as said on our little Boutcast chat here. Yeah, a bit of frustration to be seeping in, and probably a bit of desperation to close that gap, which again seems like a little bit of, it's what, 41 points, but honestly, like we said, in a game of derby, a couple of jams go the right way. 41 points, pardon me, is nothing. I mean, you can get 20 plus points in one jam alone, so yeah, definitely wards of the skate would probably be doing everything they can to try and stop those blue jammers, particularly them sneaky ones like Heartbreaker Baker, who are just finding those gaps and speeding through. So we had a bit of a timeout there called by the Blue Bolts. No doubt having a bit of a discuss on how to keep that lead and keep the wards of the skate at bay. Yeah. But yeah, the frustration of Ward definitely evident, because they do have a few blockers in the box, which has definitely allowed Mackenzie an easy pass there at the jammer line. So I think it looks like it's up to Shanae for a little bit, for that first bit there to hold the pack off.
Yeah, only just receiving reinforcements, but unfortunately too late for Mackenzie. She's already around the outside and for a full 4-scoring pass.
Yeah, so an ideal enforcer in a Coca-Rola, but a little too late. They did manage to pick up those 4 extra points, and again leaving Ward with a scoreless jam.
And as we take a look at the clock with 12 minutes and change, the Bolts are playing it very smart, using up the time when they can.
Yes, they will be hoping for some kind of a miracle or power jam situation, but Heartbreaker Baker being the lead jammer here, probably not going to be happening on this particular occasion. But they do have that nice wall of white up the front, so they don't want her to score the points, though she has passed all 4 skaters, including her opposing jammer.
Yeah, Pigeon Scream has been sent off to the penalty box, so a power jam situation for Heartbreaker Baker.
So a power jam situation ideal, but I'm guessing that the Ward would be wanting that for themselves rather than against them. And she has stopped the jam, so they'll be looking at a power start here as we go into the next one.
Looks like the ARDL are very much set on this 2-jammer strategy, just cycling between Mackenzie and Heartbreaker Baker. Getting the points nice, clean and effective, calling it off, chewing up that clock.
But it's a testament of the hours of training and the fitness that these ladies, they've been going around and around and around the track for the second time today. And are they breaking a sweat even? Because they just look like they're just having a skate in the park sometimes. And there we go, Mackenzie getting her initial pass.
Yeah, all focus on her face as she sees what the bench has to say as she skates past. Going for another scoring pass.
But she's keeping an eye on Peaches and Scream, who's back on the track. And yes, again, rather than going for the extra points, just calling off the jam. So I think they're they're really determined just to keep that lead now. They may run out the clock. They may decide to run out the clock, but yeah, I think they really want that safe lead coming into the tail end of this this bout here. Yeah, see, we went from a nice clean game, and now we're getting a few more penalties in the box, and does appear to be so few more to award at this present time, but you can tell it's probably the frustration and that desperation, and silly mistakes and accidents get made, and you may just want to stop the jammer, but unfortunately you do have to do it legally.
Yeah, it looks like they're really throwing everything they can. The jammers like Heartbreaker Baker, but nothing seems to be working, so desperate times call for desperate measures, and unfortunately that's racking up a few penalties as well.
No, yeah, so no, we do have all blockers on track here, so all players on deck. And Jiminy hit it, has made a lead jammer. So she'll be hoping to close the gap a little bit.
Big hit there on, I'm not sure who that was, but she certainly flattened her. Kept on her feet, kept going through, and picked up 4 points before calling it off.
Yes, sir.
Venus thigh trap, I think it might have been who got knocked down. Did lose her weekend pass, so hopefully she does get there back on before she tries to come back in tomorrow.
Yeah, no, there's been a bit of equipment flying. I've seen a couple of games where elbow and knee pads, like the main part, has actually fallen off. Oh, and looks like Peaches and Scream is now the lead jammer for the Wards of the Skate.
So all of a sudden, Wards of Skate picking up a bit of momentum, getting the lead jammers.
Very desperate to keep a Heartbreaker Baker with that blonde hair behind that wall of white. Oh, look at her. She's trying. Oh. She tried to push and then sneak around, but was caught. I believe that was a number 49. Hella high water. So
Steve Benedicta and I can't see the third one. For ARDL, really doing a great job of holding back Peaches and Scream as long as they could.
But she did get that 5-point scoring pass because she did lap her opposing jammer in Heartbreaker Baker. But she's deciding, not to call it off. Heartbreaker Baker gone through for her own 4 points. Yeah, looks like Peaches and Scream is just going for the points here. Probably in an attempt to close that gap, but probably not the best move because Heartbreaker Baker's just putting some more on the board while Peaches and Scream being held back by a wall of blue.
Yeah.
And she's actually gotten a 5-point scoring pass for lapping Peaches and Scream here.
So she makes up the one that she was docked on before.
Oh, a little apex jump, and again, not quite successful. She did stack it a little bit there, and slight knee went out.
Yeah, I think she felt her trailing toe stop cross the line, so she decided to stay on her knee and just crawl out into safety.
Yeah, and again, that wall of white rebuilding, reforming, keeping her back, and nice hit from Boyson Skates.
Very much a back and forth jam, that one, but the ARDL Bolts do come out on top, and 11 points to 9 in that jam.
So we've got about 5.5 minutes left in this bout. Wards of the Skate will definitely be hoping for a bit of luck on their side. I suppose not luck, a bit of their skills to pay off and their hours of training. Which it does, because they actually did Minoc Mackenzie and force her way back. While Who do we have at the front here? Holly War trying to force her way through the blue. Got a tight pack here.
Yeah, it's a real scrum in there.
How the heck did Mackenzie find her way through that? Gosh. But yeah, she is she is the lead jammer here, but there was a bit going on. All the players bunched together, but it looked like some assistance. And oh look, and then now we have Holy War out of the pack, but you know that Mackenzie's just going to be right on that.
And Mackenzie does call it off there, picking up a single point.
Alrighty, so yeah, we really are at the tail end. Gosh, 4 minutes left here on track 4. The Bolts just looking to keep that lead, probably running out the clock, and the Wards of the skate hoping for a bit of a miracle. They may have got their wish with Fantastic being declared the lead jammer. They might be able to close the gap a little bit. Oh, some good attempts, last line of defence from the white blockers, but
yeah, Boyson Skate's doing a good job of holding up Heartbreaker Baker as long as she could.
But yeah, they are forced to call off that jam, but not before picking up a couple of points for themselves. 4 points for Fantastic.
So keeping ARDL scoreless, but not being able to pick up too many of their own.
Yeah, because at this point with that kind of points differential, you'd really need some strong blockers or a heck of a power jam. But you know they're going to fight to the very last second.
Great work there by Juicy M. Suffer.
And we got some jammer on jammer action here. Jiminy hit it, and Mackenzie looked like Jiminy, the lead jammer, calling it off. There must have been a second, if even, in that for Jiminy to be the lead jammer, because they both just seem to burst out at the same time. Yes, I definitely agreed. It has been a great game to watch, this Division 2 bout. It does look like Auckland in the blue there will be advancing to the next round of the finals. Wards of the skate, though, made a heck of an effort here in this Division 2 action.
Yeah, definitely made them work for it.
Yes. But surely they'll be having a well-deserved beer and a bath after this one. Meanwhile, Auckland will probably be training in order to beat whoever their next opponents are for another step up the ladder. Oh, nice walls there. Both jammers actually stuck. And Heartbreaker Baker forced back by hella high water. Oh, we got a free one. Who do we have here from the Wards of the Skate, number 47, Boyson Skates. And
Bit of a stack there.
but she is up. Did look a little bit worrying there. She seemed to be holding her knee, but she is up and skating, so she is okay. 4 points to the Auckland Bolts here. I think we're getting a last time out here, and we're actually down in the last minute here of this game. But I think it might be an official timeout, because
And there might just be checking on the last bit of contact at the end of that jam. And just sorting out that the right skaters are sitting in the right seats in the penalty box.
okay, so in the last minute of the game, it actually appears that number 47, Boyson Skates, has actually fouled out. if the officials next to me are correct.
Yeah, it looks as though Fantastic will be starting this, what will likely be the last jam, in the penalty box.
So yes, just for those who are unaware, you can only get 7 trips to the penalty box, but on your 7th penalty, on your 7th trip to the box, you're actually ejected from the game and you are no longer able to play.
Meanwhile, it's Mackenzie who starts this jam in the power jam position, through to lead and looking to pull on as many points as he can before the end of the bout.
Yeah, so they're ending the game strong, but yeah, Ward not giving up. Yes, it does appear the Bolts have taken out this game, but Ward are just, they will fight to the very end, and there's a star pass. It looks like a Sinead Doust, maybe hoping to pick up a few points, but looks like that's the jam, and I do believe that's the bout. We have an unofficial score. The ladies in blue, the Auckland Bolts, 196, and Wards of the Skate in the white, 124.
Referees are happy with those final scores, and that will make it official.
So, the Auckland Roller Derby League advances a little bit further in the TGSS Division 2 finals. We'll maybe be sure to check into the schedule, find out who their opponents are. You can find that on the TGSS website and on the Facebook page.
So a little bit more of a late night for you folks watching home in New Zealand.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that you do appreciate the coverage that we are bringing you here. We do have a bunch of us commentators. We've been doing quite a few games both across the Boutcast and live at the venue. So, yeah, we'll be needing a few throat lozenges after this weekend. But we do enjoy bringing the Derby action for those both here at the Great Southern Slam and those watching at home who do want to support the leagues, but may just not be able to have made it this weekend. But looks like all the players going around for their love and their high fives. They definitely earned a beer and a bath for tonight after this one. But yeah, been a great game to watch. And signing off, my name is Dylan with it.
And I've been Link.
Thank you very much for watching and have fun for the Great Southern Slam.